Good morning, America! It was an eventful week as the first presidential face-off took place just this Wednesday.
While we weren't allowed to capture any footage of the event, we had journalists on the job writing down the responses to the debate.
And what a debate it was.
Indubitably. Shad vs. Krishnaswami was completely electrifying.
Governor Shad destroyed Governor Krishnaswami on the podium with such on-point, flawless, freedom-fighting policy. In fact, one of his main opening points was freeing America from corruption.
He had such a strong opening, vowing to save our country. He truly is an American hero. Shad repeatedly shows how much he cares about our nation, and that's the kind of person we need in office.
Absolutely true. Here are some of his policy highlights from the debate. Shad will increase domestic production of energy, lower regulation on businesses, combine renewable and non-renewable energy sources, allow states to handle climate change laws, won't take firearms away from the public, increased financial aid to families for daycare, and expand on CTC. Basically, Shad has inflation solved. He plans on exporting some of the domestic energy products like gasoline to make more money for the country. This combined will lower regulations on American businesses and will reverse the damage done by the Democrats' Bidenomics.
Exactly. The less money that businesses have to spend following stifling regulations, the more affordable their products become to the American people. It's common sense.
But he's not just taking care of corporations. He's thinking of the futures of American citizens. On policies supporting mothers, he vowed to increase financial aid to families to combat the rising cost of childcare and expand on the CTC. This way, families can receive more tax cuts for having children, making children much more affordable.
Meanwhile, Krishnaswami was pushing P, poor performance, against Shad. Here's some of our key takeaways from her claims. She plans on decreasing the wage gap, progressive taxation, holding taxpayers more accountable, whatever that means, upgrading the taxation system, maintaining soil health, improving the healthcare infrastructure, reducing plastic waste, improving trade agreements with China, increasing cybersecurity for all citizens, wow, like the first good policy on there, and universal background checks for purchasing firearms, boo.
On the topic of abortion and reproductive health care, she even criticizes Shad's ability to represent the women of America. Shad immediately admitted that he himself, though well-versed in feminist literature, isn't best suited to represent them. But he finishes by claiming that this part of the reason is why he picked Shepard as his VP. She is much more qualified to speak and solve such issues.
Krishnaswami really tried to undermine Shad here and gain the support of American women, but it ended up working against her in this case. We actually took a poll asking Pennsylvanian women which candidate they support after the debate. A whopping 72% of women chose Shad over Krishnaswami. How ironic.
Maybe more women support her if she hadn't spent most of her time up there questioning Shad and stumbling over her own words, rather than expanding on her policies more. Overall, she's just flimsy. Patrick, what are your takeaways from this debate?
As you can see, I'm still here in Tampa Bay, Florida, after the effects of Hurricane Milton. And thanks to Governor Shad and the Shad administration, Tampa Bay is slowly recovering from the effects of Hurricane Milton. Precious Tree is still over there, and thankfully, it's doing at least something, which is more than she was doing in the debate last Wednesday. You want my opinions on it? I'll give you my opinions. I think it was a slaughter, a massacre. If I didn't know any better, I would think that Governor Shad was a moderator from the way that he was responding and asking questions. In my opinion, I think that debate only showed us that Cooper Shad is the answer for president. President Krishnaswami said that she wanted that debate to be informative and for us to want and know who to vote for this next presidential election. And thankfully, I do. Because anyone with a right head would vote for Cooper Shad as president. Back to you, Blaine.
This just in! Rumors of a Shad scandal have reached the public. The American Times, a notoriously irreputable news source, claims that Governor Shad was caught bugging the offices of his political opponents. They further claim that he used these recordings to blackmail them out of running for Senate.
The fact of the matter is, this is fake news. The media, clearly sponsored by Krishnaswami's team, is trying to build distrust in Shad. This is the kind of corruption Shad mentioned in the debate. Politicians overstepping their bounds to ruin their opponents.
Shad earned his victory through his own ability and, frankly, his ever-present charisma and genuine personality. The Democrats ought to be ashamed of their support of such underhanded tactics in the election for the highest position in the U.S. government.
This is fake news. If anyone believes this, I want you to take a minute to think. This is fake news. All of it is. This is from word of mouth. The person who sent it in went anonymous, and they didn't even say anything about it other than the fact that it happened, which it didn't. It didn't happen. And even if it did happen, it's good for the United States because it shows Governor Shad's determination for this country. If anything, if you're not voting for Cooper Shad, you deserve to have this election rigged because any vote not going to him is a vote wasted. And that's just my opinion on it. Thank you so much, Blaine. Back to you.
This scandal is a completely ridiculous fabrication that should be taken down immediately. We advise the citizens of America to disregard any information coming from the American Times.
Well, that's all we have today for you folks. Thanks for watching and tune in next time on Bison News.